Chapter 2747. The 11 of them spread out and distanced themselves from each other. This way, they would not be killed by the ice dragon in one move. Spreading out would buy them more time. Let's go. Bing Qing roared as he increased his speed. Not long after, they heard the ice dragons roar from behind. However, after this delay, the distance between them had increased to more than 100,000 miles when the ice dragon chased after them again. Just like that, another 7 or 8 days passed. They were getting closer and closer to the exit they had come from. However, the ice dragon was relentless in his pursuit, and the distance between them was getting smaller. If this continued, they would probably be caught before they even reached the exit. Ninth young master, let's delay the ice dragon. Let me go. Another youth from the ice spirit race volunteered. Lu Ming sighed inwardly. No wonder the ice spirit race could become one of the strongest races in the Qin Tian star field. They were too united. This kind of selfless behavior would never happen in the Qin Tian 13 sects. No need. I have a plan. Now that we have the ice jade chilling heart, we can use the ice phoenixes to delay the ice dragon. Bing Qing waved his hand as his eyes glowed with wisdom. Lu Ming's heart skipped a beat. That was indeed the case. They were not far from where the ice phoenixes lived. If the ice dragon did not chase after them, they would definitely choose to go around the ice phoenixes. But now, Bing Qing planned to rush to the ice phoenix's residence. They did not change their direction and rushed directly to the ice phoenix's residence. Soon, they arrived at the ice phoenix's residence. Gajg. Cries rang out as huge figures rushed out from the ice mountains. They were the ice phoenixes. There were 9 of them. The 9 ice phoenixes stared coldly at Lu Ming and the others. They flapped their wings and flew toward Lu Ming and the others. Come. Bing Qing flew at the front and took out the red jade box. When the ice phoenixes approached, he suddenly opened the jade box and revealed the ice jade chilling heart. A wave of cold air immediately filled the air. Gagga. As soon as the 9 ice phoenixes saw the ice jade chilling heart, they began to cry incessantly, and fear appeared on their faces as they forcibly stopped in their tracks. Go. Bing Qing hurriedly closed the jade box. Everyone rushed over. The 9 ice phoenixes didn't dare to block them. They could only watch as Lu Ming and the others rushed past. After passing the ice phoenixes, they continued to fly. Soon, they heard the roars of ice dragons and ice phoenixes behind them, as well as the rumbling of collisions. The ice phoenix and the ice dragon were indeed in conflict. At this point, they were very close to the exit. Not long after, they returned to the place where they first came in. Bing Qing immediately took out the statue and began to form seals. The statue floated in the air, emitting a dazzling radiance. After a while, a vortex appeared in the void. The exit had been opened. Roar. At that moment, a dragon's roar sounded from afar. The ice dragon had caught up to them again. Let's go, let's go. Bing Qing roared. Go, go, go. Lu Shangkai and the others from the Mystic Academy were the first to rush into the vortex, followed by the others. Behind them, the dragon roars grew louder and louder. They could even see the huge figure of the ice dragon appear in their field of vision. However, it was fortunate that most of their people had already left. Lu Ming's figure flashed and rushed out of the vortex. Bing Qing quickly kept the statue and rushed out of the vortex. As Bing Qing rushed out of the vortex quickly disappeared. Roar. In the end, they could still hear a loud dragon's roar. Then the light screen where the vortex had disappeared vibrated slightly. Huff, huff, huff. Everyone heaved a sigh of relief, and their hearts relaxed a little. They had escaped. Although they had lost some people, they had obtained the ice jade chilling heart. The people from the Ice Soul tribe were all smiles. Of course, there were some exceptions. They were the people from the Mystic Academy, especially Huya and Lu Shangkai. During this trip, Lu Shangkai had been brutally beaten by Lu Ming. He had even been forced to kneel in front of everyone by Lu Ming. Such humiliation filled Lu Shangkai's heart with murderous intent whenever he thought about it. He swore to himself that he would find a chance to take revenge. Everyone, take a break and adjust your condition. I'm afraid we still have one more obstacle to pass. Bing Qing instructed. The people from the Ice Soul tribe were fine, but the others' faces changed when they heard this. They had already made it out. What obstacle was there to pass? Ninth young lord, what do you mean? Lu Shangkai asked with a sullen face. The mission this time was more dangerous than he had imagined. Moreover, he had been greatly humiliated. He was already in a bad mood. Now that he heard that there would be another obstacle, his face turned even uglier. Everyone, you know about the Flaming Tribe, right? Bing Qing asked. Of course. Everyone in the Qin Tian Star Zone knows about the Flaming Tribe. Lu Shangkai said. You should also know that the Flaming Tribe and my Ice Soul Tribe have been enemies for generations. My Ice Soul Tribe wants the Ice Jade Chilling Heart, but the Flaming Tribe doesn't want it. Therefore, every time my Ice Soul Tribe sends people into the ancestral land, the Flaming Tribe will send people to stop us. This time, before we entered, we didn't encounter the Scarlet Flame Tribe's obstruction. It's very likely that they were waiting for us to come out so that they could wait for us to exhaust ourselves. If I'm not wrong, the Scarlet Flame Tribe's people are very likely lying in ambush on the way out, Bing Qing said. Hearing Bing Qing's words, many people's faces turned gloomy. Next, they would have to rush out of the encirclement of the Flaming Tribe to be truly out of danger. The only good news was that only those under 10,000 years old could enter this path. If the Flaming Tribe wanted to enter, only those under 10,000 years old could enter. Those of the same generation as them wouldn't have a high cultivation. It shouldn't be too difficult for them to rush out of the encirclement. Immediately, everyone found a place to sit down cross-legged. They took out divine gems to refine and adjust to their best condition. Lu Ming also took out some divine gems to recover. In fact, he had the quantifying formula, which stored a large amount of divine power. He was always in peak condition. Of course, he couldn't expose the quantifying formula. Therefore, he had to put on an act. A day later, everyone had recovered to their best condition. Their divine power was full. Let's go. Bing Qing led the way out. The others followed. They raised their attention to the maximum, constantly paying attention to their surroundings. Soon, they were halfway out without encountering any accidents. However, they didn't dare to be careless. Be careful. All of a sudden, Bing Qing roared. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Then silhouettes flashed from the huge rocks around them. Attacks were launched one after another at them. Luckily, they were constantly paying attention to their surroundings. With Bing Qing's reminder, everyone used all kinds of defensive measures to defend their surroundings, blocking the attacks from all directions. Chapter 2748. After Lu Ming and the group blocked all the attacks from the surroundings, figures flashed and a large group of figures appeared, surrounding them. In front of them was a group of red-skinned youths, each of them emitting a blazing aura. The Flaming Flame Race. Many people's faces turned serious. It was indeed the Flaming Flame Race, and their numbers were shocking. There were actually 70 to 80 of them. One had to know that only people under 10,000 years old could enter this place. The number of people from the Flaming Flame Race had reached 70 to 80, which showed how strong they were. Behind Lu Ming and the others were not from the Flaming Flame Race, but there were still more than 70 of them. These people were from different races. Invincible Kenzo and the Immeasurable Sacred Land. A youth from the Mystic Academy exclaimed. The others' hearts sank. They all recognized that these youths were from different races. Like them, they were from the other 7 sects of the Qin Tian 13 sects. Moreover, the Invincible Kenzo and the Immeasurable Sacred Land's prodigies had also come. Everyone's hearts sank. The difference in strength between the two sides was too great. They had fought a few battles in the Ice Soul Race's ancestral land, and had lost some battle power. Originally, they had less than 100 people, but after losing some, they were only left with 60 or so people. The other side had about 150 people, which was more than twice their number. Bing Qing, hand over all your interspatial rings, and I'll let you go. A burly prodigy from the Flaming Flame Race sneered. His body was like a burning piece of metal, emitting wisps of divine fire. Yen-sun, come and take it yourself if you can. Bing Qing said coldly, and the cold aura on her body grew stronger. The Ice Soul Race had spent so many years to obtain the Ice Jade Heart, so how could she hand it over? If you don't hand it over, did you really get the Ice Jade Heart? Today none of you will leave. Attack! The tall and sturdy Flamekin youth, Yin Sun, waved his hand and gave the order. Kill! Kill! The prodigies of the Flaming Tribe, Invincible Kenzo, and other sects roared. Their auras soared as they charged towards Lu Ming and the others. Gather together and charge forward. As long as we charge out of this path, we'll be saved. Bing Qing roared. She took the lead and charged toward the Flame Tribe. Streaks of sword chi shot out from Bing Qing's hands. They were extremely cold, and wherever they passed, layers of frost appeared in the air. Child's play, transform for me. Yen Sun shouted and rushed towards Bing Qing. His whole body was covered in blazing flames, and the temperature of the space was rising rapidly. Boom! Boom! His fists were unceasingly punching out. His fists were like magma as they bombarded Bing Qing. The air was filled with sizzling sounds and violent explosions. Rings of blazing energy and ice-cold energy spread out in all directions. The two of them fought fiercely. Yen Sun's battle strength was also extremely terrifying. He was evenly matched with Bing Qing. At the same time, Lu Ming and the others also suffered a terrifying attack. Ah! Ah! Several blood-curdling screams rang out. The difference in strength between the two sides was too great. As soon as they exchanged blows, Lu Ming and the others suffered heavy injuries. A few of them were killed. Lu Ming and the others' formation was also blocked. Clang! The sound of a sword resonated through the sky. A black-robed youth with a cold expression and terrifying battle strength slashed out with his sword. A Sky Pride of the Ice Soul Tribe was killed. This was a Sky Pride of the Invincible Kenzo. His strength was slightly stronger than Lu Shankai's. On the other side, a white-robed youth was very elegant. However, his battle strength was also terrifying. He also killed a Sky Pride of the Ice Soul Tribe. This person was from the immeasurable sacred ground. The most shocking thing was that there were a few prodigies from the Flaming Flame Tribe, who were as powerful as Lu Shankai. Some of them were even more powerful than Lu Shankai. Under the leadership of these people, Lu Ming and the rest retreated in defeat, and people were constantly killed. Boom! An expert from the Flame Tribe punched out, and turned a disciple from the Kongxian school into ashes. There were a total of 10 Sky Prides from the Kongxian school. None of them had died before. Now this was the first one to die. We can't go on like this. We'll leave in batches. Come with me. Lu Ming roared. Lu Ming could no longer care about the Ice Soul Tribe. He led the people from the Kongxian school, and madly charged to the side. Lu Ming rushed to the front. He exploded with all his strength and stabbed out with his long spear. 2 young men from the Flame Tribe were killed by Lu Ming. The other young men from the Flame Tribe coughed up blood and retreated. Kid, you're courting death. A young expert from the Flame Tribe fixed his eyes on Lu Ming and attacked Lu Ming. He was wearing a pair of red gloves. He threw out a few punches. The scorching fist force was aimed at Lu Ming. Before the fist force arrived, everyone felt as if their bodies were about to burn. Lu Ming's long spear swept out and collided with the young man. However, the result was that Lu Ming was forced to retreat a few steps. What a strong battle strength! Lu Ming's eyes narrowed. The young man from the Flame Tribe was no weaker than Lu Shankai. In a head-on collision, Lu Ming was at a disadvantage. Kid, how dare you kill someone from the Flame Tribe? Die! The young man from the Flame Tribe said ferociously and continued to attack Lu Ming. Lu Ming did his best to fight the young man. And Hai and the others formed a circle to block the attacks from all directions. Chapter 2749. The young man from the Flaming Tribe was terrified. He could feel that his blood was starting to freeze. His body was stiff and he couldn't move. Save me! The young man from the Flaming Tribe screamed in fear. Kill! Lu Ming stabbed out with his spear, and a spear light pierced through the young man, killing him instantly. A young man who wasn't any weaker than Lu Shankai had died just like that. Brat, you're courting death! Damn it! Immediately, angry roars could be heard. Many prodigies from the Flaming Flame Tribe were glaring at Lu Ming furiously. That young man from the Flaming Tribe had an extraordinary status in the Flaming Tribe, and he was extremely talented. But now he had died at the hands of Lu Ming. This made the people from the Flaming Tribe want to kill him. Let's go. Lu Ming shouted as he waved his ice chains towards the young men from the Flaming Tribe who were attacking Hai and the others. The young men from the Flaming Tribe were shocked and quickly dodged. Hai and the others also escaped and joined up with Lu Ming. They rushed forward together. Kill. That brat must die. The others can surround him but don't kill him. Kill that brat first. Yen Sun, who was fighting with Bing Qing, shouted. Shua. Shua. One by one, the young men from the Flaming Tribe rushed towards Lu Ming. Some of them were extremely fast. Boom. In front of Lu Ming, there was a young man from the Flaming Tribe who was 3 meters tall. His fist force was like a mountain as it blasted towards Lu Ming. So strong. Lu Ming was shocked and quickly blocked with his spear. Dang. The young man's fist force hit the long spear. The long spear vibrated violently, and Lu Ming felt an overwhelming pressure coming towards him. Lu Ming retreated quickly. He felt that his arm was about to split open, and he spat out a mouthful of blood. Strong. This young man from the Flaming Tribe was shockingly strong. Lu Ming felt that his battle strength wasn't any weaker than Bing Qing's. The Scarlet Flame race had a shocking number of geniuses, as expected of the strongest race in the Qin Tian star field. Without a doubt, they were also the strongest force. Brat, I'm going to grind your bones to dust. Kill them all. The 3-meter-tall flanking youth roared and punched at Lu Ming with both fists. At the same time, the other members of the Flame tribe had also arrived. Together, they charged towards Lu Ming, Hai, and the others. Bang! Bang! In the blink of an eye, 2 young men from Kongxian School were blown up in the air and turned into ashes in the scorching heat. We're finished. A young man from the Kongxian School yelled in despair. Facing such a situation, they would definitely die today. At this time, Lu Ming was also facing an extremely strong pressure. The 3-meter-tall flanking youth wasn't the only expert from the Flaming Tribe. There were a few more people behind him. Although they weren't as strong as the former, they were also very terrifying. They attacked Lu Ming together, wanting to kill Lu Ming. Lu Ming could only control the ice chain to wrap around them. However, they knew the power of the ice chain, and naturally wouldn't let Lu Ming have his way. As soon as the ice chain was released, they retreated rapidly, avoiding the ice chain. Only the 3-meter-tall flanking youth was fearless. His aura was wild, and his body was covered in blazing divine flames. He punched continuously at the ice chain with both fists. Boom! Boom! The blazing fists collided with the ice chain, but it didn't extinguish. Instead, it sent the ice chain flying back. The opponent was too strong, and Lu Ming's cultivation was too low. After all, the power of the ice chain was limited. It couldn't cross a large distance to freeze the opponent. The 3-meter-tall flanking youth had the strength to block it. I'll block this strange chain. Let them kill him. The 3-meter-tall flanking youth roared and launched an attack. He focused on bombarding the ice chain, while the other experts of the Flankin tribe charged at Lu Ming. All of a sudden, Lu Ming's situation became precarious. 2 other people from the Kongxian School had died. At this moment, there were only 5 people left in the Kongxian School, including Lu Ming. The other 4 people, including Hai and the long-faced youth, were all seriously injured. Their faces were filled with despair. At this moment, the people of the Ice Soul clan and several other sects had suffered heavy losses. People kept dying in the battle. The number of people on their side was constantly decreasing. What should I do? What should I do? Lu Ming's mind raced as he tried to think of a way to escape. However, the difference in strength between the 2 sides was too great. Even if Lu Ming wanted to escape alone, it would be difficult. Boy, we can only fight now. At this moment, the voice of the quantifying formula sounded in Lu Ming's mind. Fight? How? Lu Ming hurriedly asked. Do you still remember when I absorbed the Nether Dragon Blood Jade in the Nether Dragon Secret Realm? The quantifying formula said. Nether Dragon Blood Jade? Have you already refined the energy of the Nether Dragon Blood Jade? Lu Ming hurriedly asked. That's right. After all these years, I've already refined all the energy of the Nether Dragon Blood Jade. I can give it to you now. This energy is very strong. Even if you cultivate 5 divine fires, it's enough for you to reach the true God realm in a short time. That's right. It's very dangerous to break through during a battle. If you're not careful, you might go mad and explode. The quantifying formula said. I definitely have to break through. Please give me the energy, Lu Ming hurriedly said. It wasn't like he hadn't broken through during a battle. He had plenty of experience. Alright then, get ready. Let's begin. As soon as the quantifying formula finished speaking, Lu Ming felt that the quantifying word in his mind was shining. Then a huge amount of energy surged out of the quantifying formula and into Lu Ming's body. This energy was very pure and could be converted into divine power in an instant. Refine, refine. Lu Ming crazily circulated the universe 10,000 Dao technique and started to refine it. This energy was quickly converted into Lu Ming's divine power. The divine fire in Lu Ming's dantian grew stronger. In almost an instant, Lu Ming's cultivation had reached the peak level 8 empty god realm. Then, with a loud boom, his body seemed to explode and his aura suddenly skyrocketed. Level 9 empty god realm. In just a breath's time, Lu Ming's cultivation had risen from level 8 empty god realm to level 9 empty god realm. Breakthrough? How is that possible? The others were shocked. They had never thought that Lu Ming would have a breakthrough in his cultivation in such a situation. Even if you have a breakthrough, you will still die. The 3-meter-tall young man from the Flaming Flame tribe roared and charged towards Lu Ming. The other supreme talents from the Flaming Flame tribe also charged towards Lu Ming. There were 9 of them charging towards Lu Ming. Kill! Lu Ming's fighting spirit soared, and he continuously swung his long spear to clash with his opponents. However, even though Lu Ming's cultivation had reached level 9 empty god realm, he was still no match for so many supreme talents from the Flaming Flame tribe. He was still at a disadvantage. Only by breaking through to the true god realm would he be able to fight his way out. Chapter 2750. Go, 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 continue to go. Lu Ming roared in his heart as he continued to refine the energy. His cultivation base was nearing the peak of the empty god realm. However, it wasn't easy for him to break through to the true god realm. The Kongxian school's outer disciples had a rule that if an outer disciple could break through to the true god realm within 1,000,000 years, they could become an inner disciple. However, there were still many people who couldn't break through to the true god realm within 1,000,000 years. From this, one could see how difficult it was to break through to the true god realm. Even with the energy from the quantifying character formula, it wasn't realistic for Lu Ming to break through to the true god realm immediately. Come on, come on. I'll borrow your strength to break through to the true god realm. Lu Ming's eyes were filled with madness. His battle intent seemed to be on fire. Spear radiance and ice chains clashed with the 9 top young prodigies from the Flaming Flame tribe. Although Lu Ming was at a disadvantage and was constantly injured and coughing out blood, he was able to hold on for a while. On the other side, the young prodigies from the Mystic Academy were fighting against the invincible Kenzo under Lu Shankai's lead. Lu Shankai was fighting against the black-shirt young man. Brother Xian, why do you have to be so ruthless? Lu Shankai sent a message to the black-shirt young man. They were both prodigies from the 3 overlord sects and they knew each other. We've taken on different missions. Naturally, we have to do our part. The black-shirt young man replied coldly. How about this, Brother Xian? I'll give up on this mission. As long as you show mercy, I can still help you kill that brat. Lu Shankai sent a message to the black-shirt young man, and then looked at Lu Ming with murderous eyes. Lu Ming had broken through at such a crucial moment. This made Lu Shankai even more wary of Lu Ming. He couldn't wait to kill Lu Ming as Lu Ming's speed of growth shocked him. You seem to want to kill that brat, the black-clothed young man asked with great interest. That's right. Let me tell you. That lad is from Kongxian School, and his combat strength is terrifying. You've seen it for yourself. He's only an empty god, but he already has such combat strength. If he grows up, I'm afraid that even the 3 overlords would not be his match. I'm not trying to scare you, Lu Shankai said. The invincible Kenzo youth's eyes flashed. Lu Ming was at the empty god realm. How could he not see that? To be honest, he was extremely shocked. He had never seen a nihility god with such combat strength. The Kongxian school was already the leader of the top 10 sections. With the addition of such a prodigy, it was indeed a huge threat to the three overlords. "What's your plan?" The black-clothed youth's eyes flashed as he said. "Let's pretend to fight. As we fight, we'll shift the battlefield to that kid's side. That kid's attention has been on the Scarlet Flame race and you guys. He definitely won't expect me to attack it this time. So as long as I attack, I'll definitely be able to kill that kid." Lu Shangkai said coldly. "Lu Shangkai, you're despicable." The black-clothed youth sneered. Lu Shangkai's face turned ugly. However, he hated Lu Ming to the core. Even if he was ridiculed, he wanted to kill Lu Ming. "Alright, I promise you," the black-clothed youth said. He then sent a message to the invincible Kenzo. At the same time, Lu Shangkai also instructed the people from the Mystic Academy to pretend to fight and slowly move closer to Lu Ming. Soon they were near Lu Ming. At that moment, Lu Ming's cultivation had already reached the peak of rank 9 Empty God Realm, and he was trying to break through to the True God Realm. However, it was not easy to break through to the True God Realm. Lu Ming tried to break through a few times, but he did not succeed. Just a little bit more, just a little bit more. Lu Ming still felt that he was lacking a little bit, and it was difficult for him to break through the bottleneck. If others knew that he was trying to break through to the True God Realm, and that he was trying to break through to the True God Realm at the same time, they would laugh their heads off. When others tried to break through to the True God Realm, they would first have to cultivate to the peak of rank 9 Empty God Realm. Then they would have to prepare some treasures to break through to the True God Realm. Moreover, the success rate was not high. No one could break through to the True God Realm while fighting. Boom. Boom. Lu Ming exchanged a few blows with the Flaming Flame tribe. His body shook violently and he could not stop retreating. Blood kept flowing out of his mouth. Now is the time. Lu Shangkai's eyes lit up. The direction that Lu Ming was retreating was exactly where he was. This was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Lu Shangkai did not hesitate and struck immediately. Boom. The runes on his body shone brightly. A huge black seal appeared in his hands, and he smashed it towards Lu Ming. "Be careful," the quantifying character formula reminded him. Lu Ming was shocked. To be honest, he did not expect Lu Shangkai to strike at him at this moment. His attention was all on the Flaming Flame tribe, the invincible Kenzo, and the immeasurable sacred ground. At this critical moment, he thought that Lu Shangkai would try to save his own life. He did not expect Lu Shangkai to suddenly strike at him. It was too late for him to dodge. Lu Ming could only activate the ninefold golden armor to defend himself. Boom. Lu Shangkai's huge black seal landed heavily on Lu Ming's body, and there was a loud boom. The ninefold golden armor on Lu Ming's body shook violently and then exploded. Lu Ming's body was like a cannonball. He flew towards a huge meteorite and smashed it into pieces. Even the Flaming Flame tribe members were shocked. Wasn't Lu Shangkai on Lu Ming's side? Why did he suddenly attack Lu Ming? But after a moment of shock, two experts from the Flaming Flame tribe rushed towards the meteorite that Lu Ming had smashed. They wanted to kill Lu Ming once and for all. However, right at that moment, an astonishing aura erupted from the meteorite. This aura was extremely terrifying. It formed a powerful pressure that made everyone feel as if a mountain was pressing down on them. Buzz. A spear light as large as a mountain swept out towards the two experts from the Flaming Flame tribe. Bang. Bang. The two experts from the Flaming Flame tribe did not even have time to react before they were blasted apart by the spear light. How is this possible? The others were shocked. Although the two experts from the Flaming Flame tribe were not at Lu Shangkai's level, the difference was not big. Yet they were killed instantly. Boom. There was a loud boom from the meteorite, and a figure rushed out. It was Lu Ming. At this moment, divine power was boiling on Lu Ming's body. It was like a flame that was burning fiercely. A powerful aura was constantly being emitted. A true god. This was the aura of a true god. He broke through. This kid has broken through again. Someone shouted in disbelief. Oh my god. What is going on? Everyone could not believe their eyes. Didn't Lu Ming just break through? How did he break through again? One breakthrough was still acceptable. Lu Ming's cultivation level was already at its peak. It was normal for him to have a breakthrough. However, it was impossible for him to have consecutive breakthroughs from the void god realm to the true god realm. Chapter 2751. Lu Shankai's eyes widened. He thought he was dreaming. He had attacked Lu Ming, but not only did he fail to kill Lu Ming, but Lu Ming didn't die. Instead, he broke through. Lu Shankai felt his head spinning. Lu Shankai. Lu Ming's cold gaze swept toward Lu Shankai. His cold murderous intent was not concealed and Lu Shankai shuddered. Lu Shankai, speaking of which, I have to thank you. If it wasn't for your attack, I wouldn't have been able to break through. Lu Ming sneered. He wasn't lying. The situation just now was indeed as he had said. Lu Shankai's attack had instead helped Lu Ming, allowing Lu Ming's cultivation to break through to the true immortal realm. Hearing Lu Ming's words, Lu Shankai almost spat out a mouthful of blood due to anger. Not only did his attack fail to kill Lu Ming, but it had instead helped Lu Ming break through. He wanted to slap himself a few times. In order to repay you, I will personally send you on your way, Lu Ming said coldly. So what if you've broken through? Kill. The young man from the Flaming Flame tribe who was more than 3 meters tall roared and charged toward Lu Ming. He unleashed his full strength and threw out 2 fists. 2 blazing fists crushed towards Lu Ming. Facing this attack, Lu Ming's expression was indifferent. He directly swept out his spear. Boom. The long spear and the fists collided. The fists directly exploded. The spear continued to attack the 3-meter-tall Flame youth. The youth's expression changed drastically. He tried his best to resist, but the result was that his body was forced back. His arms were directly blown to pieces. Your strength. The 3-meter-tall Flame youth's eyes widened. His face was filled with disbelief. In one move, Lu Ming had only casually waved his spear, but it had severely injured him. Lu Ming just broke through to the true god realm. How did his strength increase so much? A person's battle prowess was not only determined by the strength of divine power, but also divine skills and secret techniques. Although Lu Ming's cultivation base had broken through, his divine skills and the like had not broken through. It was impossible for his battle strength to soar so much. Little did he know that Lu Ming had 5 divine fires in his body, and possessed 5 types of divine powers. Once his cultivation level had a breakthrough, the 5 divine fires and 5 types of divine powers had a breakthrough as well. Naturally, his divine power had increased tremendously. His battle prowess had also increased by several times. Kill. Lu Ming roared. Wielding his spear, he charged towards the Flame tribe's experts. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. A series of terrifying spear glows burst out. They were a lot stronger than before. The young men from the Flaming Flame race, including the one who was more than 3 meters tall, tried their best to resist. However, the spear radiance pierced through them. Other than the Flaming tribe youth who was over 3 meters tall, the other 6 Flaming tribe experts were all dead. All of them were assassinated by Lu Ming. The Flaming tribe youth who was over 3 meters tall coughed up blood and retreated. His injuries were even more serious. Seeing this, Lu Shankai was almost scared to death. Among the Flaming Flame tribe's sky prides who were killed just now, there were some who were not weaker than him. However, they were all killed by Lu Ming with ease. Go quickly. Lu Shankai roared in his heart and turned around to leave. Go. Where do you think you're going? Lu Ming would not let Lu Shankai escape. He would not kill the others, but Lu Shankai must die. Lu Ming used the Garuda technique, and his body flashed as he chased after Lu Shankai. With Lu Ming's current cultivation base and the Garuda technique, his speed was too fast. In a few flashes, he had caught up with Lu Shankai. Lu Ming, if you dare to kill me, the Mystic Academy will not let you go. Lu Shankai roared hysterically. Idiot. Lu Ming said coldly as he swept out his spear. A huge spear light swept towards Lu Shankai. Ah! Lu Shankai roared as his body was covered with runes. He went all out as he burned his divine power to form a huge black seal, and threw it towards Lu Ming. This was the strongest attack he had ever made. He only wanted to save his life. Boom! The huge seal and Lu Ming's spear light collided. The huge seal crumbled and the spear light swept across Lu Shankai's body. Lu Shangkai screamed as his body was sent flying and hit a huge meteorite. Many of his bones were broken, and he was on the verge of death. When Lu Ming was at the 8th level of the empty god realm, he was no match for Lu Shangkai. However, Lu Ming's current cultivation base had reached the 1st level of the true god realm. His combat strength had increased tremendously, and he was able to suppress Lu Shangkai. "I'll send you on your way." He looked at Lu Shangkai coldly and thrust out his spear. "Don't." Lu Shangkai screamed miserably. At this moment, he was filled with regret. He regretted launching a surprise attack on Lu Ming. Not only did he fail to kill Lu Ming, but he also helped Lu Ming achieve a breakthrough in his cultivation level. He even sacrificed his own life. Unfortunately, there was no medicine for regret in this world. Lu Shangkai was killed by the long spear. "Run! Run!" At this moment, the invincible Kenzo youth screamed in fear as he turned around and ran. The others followed. "Kill! Kill! Kill!" Lu Ming roared as the divine power in his body exploded. His battle-intent soared. Lu Ming seemed to have turned into a god of war as he held his long spear and killed. Spear light shot out continuously. Puff! Puff! In an instant, 10 members of the Flaming Tribe, 6 members of the Winged Demon Academy, and 6 members of the invincible Kenzo were killed. The members of the Flaming Tribe who had surrounded Anhai and the others were all killed. At this moment, there were only 3 people left in the Kongxian school. Anhai and the other 2 had the highest cultivation bases, but they were covered in injuries. The others were all dead. This was also because the experts of the Flaming Tribe weren't particularly strong when they attacked Lu Ming and Anhai. Otherwise, none of them would have survived. Anhai and the other 2 looked at Lu Ming in shock. Lu Ming continued to kill the members of the Flaming Tribe, the invincible Kenzo, and the immeasurable sacred ground. Exhilarating, exhilarating. Previously he had been suppressed. To be honest, he was very sullen. However, at this moment, he had released all of his sullenness. He felt extremely happy. These people were all crushed by him. One by one, they died at the hands of Lu Ming. Retreat! Retreat! When the prodigy from the Flaming Flame tribe who was fighting with Bingqing saw this scene, he knew that things were hopeless. Lu Ming's combat power was too strong. No one present was a match for him. If this continued, they would all die. The members of the Flaming Tribe, the invincible Kenzo, and the immeasurable sacred ground gathered together and desperately rushed out of the path. However, Lu Ming obviously didn't want to let them go so easily. He chased after them with his spear, leaving behind a trail of corpses. In the end, the Flaming Tribe, the invincible Kenzo, and the other sects left behind a total of over 100 corpses. The other side had about 150 people, but only 50 people were left. They were running for their lives. At this moment, Lu Ming stopped chasing. Bingqing and the others caught up from behind. They were also in a miserable situation. Now the Ice Soul tribe and the other sects only had about 30 people left. The others were all dead. Chapter 2752. This battle was far too tragic. Brother Lu, it's all thanks to you this time. Bingqing cupped her fists and thanked Lu Ming solemnly. This trip to the Ice Soul clan's ancestral land was all thanks to Lu Ming. If not for Lu Ming, they probably would not have gotten the Ice Jade Heart. If not for Lu Ming, even if they had gotten the Ice Jade Heart, they would have died at the hands of the Flame tribe. Brother Bing, you're welcome. Since I've accepted this mission, I'll do my best. Let's go out, Lu Ming said. Then everyone rushed out. In the starry sky outside the path, the Ice Soul clan and the Flame tribe experts were still confronting each other. There were dozens of people on each side. They were all top experts from the Ice Soul clan and the Flame tribe. Each of them was a terrifying existence. The atmosphere in the starry sky was extremely oppressive. In my opinion, the Ice Soul clan doesn't need to wait anymore. It's a waste of effort. Your people definitely won't get the Ice Jade Heart. Even if they do, they'll all die at the hands of the Flame tribe Sky Prides. An elder from the Flame tribe sneered. It's too early for you to be happy. Don't bite off your tongue and slap your own face later. An expert from the Ice Soul clan replied. Haha, you still don't want to give up. Let's wait and see. The elder from the Flame tribe sneered with a confident expression. Many experts from the Ice Soul clan had ugly expressions. They had seen the number of sky prides from the Flame tribe, and the invincible Kenzo who had gone in. There were many of them, and many of them were experts. If Bing Qing and the others encountered them, the outcome would be unpredictable. They were actually very worried. Time passed by slowly. "They're out." Suddenly someone shouted. Their eyesight was very good. They saw that in the tunnel, there was a figure rushing out quickly. "It's the Flame tribe." "Haha, it's our sky prides. It seems like the Ice Soul clan has been wiped out." Seeing that it was the Flame tribe, the experts from the Flame tribe laughed. They all thought that the Flame tribe had come out after killing the Ice Soul clan. Even the experts of the Ice Soul clan thought the same. Their expressions were extremely ugly. "No, something's wrong." Suddenly, a middle-aged man from the Flamewing race cried out in surprise. The others were shocked and couldn't help but look carefully. When they looked carefully, they realized that something was wrong. The Scarlet Flame race, Invincible Kenzo, and other sects had lost a lot of people. Previously, when they entered, there were around 150 people. But now at a glance, there were only around 50 people. Moreover, their clothes were ragged, and their auras were unstable. Many of them were injured, and their eyes were filled with panic and fear. This was completely the appearance of a defeated army. When the prodigies from the Flaming tribe and the invincible Kenzo saw the experts from the Flaming tribe outside, they were overjoyed and rushed out of the meteorite area. The Flamewing clan warriors waved their hands and enveloped them with divine power, so that they could survive in the starry sky. "What's going on? Where are the others?" A red-haired old man from the Flaming Flame clan shouted. "Dead, they're all dead." A young man from the Flaming Flame clan answered with a sobbing voice. His eyes were still filled with fear. Previously, Lu Ming had displayed his invincible might and slaughtered his way through. He had almost died at the hands of Lu Ming. He was so scared that he almost wet his pants. "Dead? How is that possible? What happened inside? Yin Sun, what happened?" The old man from the Flaming Flame clan looked at Yin Sun and exuded a terrifying aura. "A kid from the Kongxian school called Lu Ming. He killed many of our experts. It's all because of him." Yin Sun gritted his teeth. "Kongxian school? Lu Ming?" The others were shocked. With their status, they naturally hadn't heard of Lu Ming. However, they could roughly guess what had happened. A person called Lu Ming from the Kongxian school had killed many prodigies from the Flaming Flame clan, Invincible Kenzo, and other sections. However, the Kongxian school actually had such an expert? One had to know that those who had entered this time were those who had cultivated for less than 10,000 years. The prodigies sent by the major forces were already the strongest among those under 10,000 years old. Who could sweep through all of them? Lu Ming. The expert from the Flaming Flame clan muttered the name as cold-killing intent emanated from his body. The people from the Ice Soul clan were ecstatic. It seemed that the Ice Soul clan had won this time. "I didn't expect the Kongxian school to have such a prodigy. We paid a huge price to invite the prodigies from the 6 major sections. We made the right choice." Not bad, not bad. Especially the Kongxian school. Some of the Ice Soul clan's experts were discussing in low voices. "They're here." Suddenly, one of the Ice Soul clan's experts looked ahead. Lu Ming, Bing Qing, and the others were running toward them from the meteorite path. "That's him. That brat is Lu Ming." Yen Sun pointed at Lu Ming with a ferocious look in his eyes. Everyone's gaze fell on Lu Ming. "How dare you kill so many of our people? You're courting death. Our Flaming Flame clan wants this person." An elder from the Flaming Flame clan said coldly. He stepped out and headed toward the intersection of the meteorite path. A violent aura erupted, shaking the heavens and the earth. However, it couldn't be felt inside the meteorite path. Of course, Lu Ming also saw the powerful figures from the Flaming tribe. They stopped in their tracks and did not go out. "Brat, get out here. Come back with me to the Flaming Flame clan and confess your crimes." The Flaming Flame clan's elder said ferociously. "Old man, are you out of your mind? Come and catch me if you can. I'll just stand here and not move." Lu Ming stood on a meteorite and looked at the Flaming Flame Clan's elder with disdain. This made the Flaming Flame Clan's elder look even colder. This is the ancestral land of our Ice Spirit Clan. I'm afraid your Flaming Flame Clan doesn't have the ability to catch someone here. An expert from the Ice Spirit Clan said coldly. He stepped out and faced the Flaming Flame Clan's elder. An extremely cold aura erupted. Rumble. The two people's auras clashed. Cold and heat collided, and a violent explosion erupted in the middle. No one can stop our Flaming Flame Clan from taking someone we want. Does your Ice Spirit Clan want to start a war with our Flaming Flame Clan? The Flaming Flame Clan's elder said coldly. Some of the Ice Spirit Clan's experts' faces darkened. Starting a war with the Flaming Flame Clan was extremely disadvantageous for the Ice Spirit Clan. Was it worth it for Lu Ming? They couldn't help but hesitate. Elder, we've already obtained the Ice Jade Heart. This time, it's all thanks to Lu Ming. Lu Ming is a great benefactor to our clan. Bing Qing quickly sent a message to the Ice Spirit Clan's elders. What? We've obtained the Ice Jade Heart? The Ice Spirit Clan's elders were overjoyed when they heard this. Chapter 2753. Originally, the elders of the Ice Soul Clan did not have much confidence in obtaining the Ice Jade Frozen Heart. After all, the Ice Soul Clan had sent people into the ancestral land more than once, but they had all returned empty-handed. Each time, they had suffered heavy losses. This time, they had sent people in to try their luck. They had not expected to obtain the Ice Jade Frozen Heart. Moreover, it was all thanks to Lu Ming. Lu Ming had helped the Ice Soul Clan obtain the Ice Jade Frozen Heart. This was a great favor. The Ice Soul Clan had to protect him. The elders of the Ice Soul Clan looked at each other and saw the determination in each other's eyes. This person is a guest invited by the Ice Soul Clan. If you touch him, you will be touching the people of the Ice Soul Clan. If you want to start a war, then let's start a war. The Ice Soul Clan is not afraid of anyone. The Ice Soul Clan expert said. His eyes were filled with determination and strong fighting spirit. He did not back down. The elder from the Flame Clan narrowed his eyes. He did not understand why the Ice Soul Clan was so strong. It seems like the Ice Soul Clan wants to die with this kid. Then, I will fulfill your wish. The elder from the Flame Clan was very strong. His red hair and long beard fluttered in the wind. His body was as red as a piece of burning iron. Terrifying heat constantly emanated from him. Boom. Suddenly, the elder from the Flame Clan attacked. He threw a punch at the Ice Soul Clan expert. Ice Divine Sword. The Ice Soul Clan expert was not afraid at all. He also attacked. The bone-chilling sword light froze the starry sky. The two sides engaged in a fierce collision. The starry sky was boiling. Terrifying forces whistled through the starry sky. Ice Soul Clan, you are courting death. The other experts from the Flame Clan shouted angrily. Terrifying auras were released. They were like volcanoes erupting as they attacked the Ice Soul Clan expert. Kill. The elders of the Ice Soul Clan shouted and attacked the other party. There were dozens of experts from the Flame Clan and the Ice Soul Clan. At this moment, they were fighting. The starry sky was in chaos. What terrifying strength! Standing on the meteorite road, Lu Ming's heart was beating wildly as he watched the battle outside. The strength of these experts was truly astonishing. They were much, much stronger than them. Any one of these experts could easily shatter his body and bones with a casual move. Heavenly deities. Without a doubt, these experts were all heavenly deities. Furthermore, they weren't ordinary heavenly deities. Even the weakest among them were peak heavenly deities. As for whether or not there were divine king powerhouses inside, Lu Ming's cultivation was too weak and could not tell at all. Regardless of whether it was a peak celestial god or a god king, they were all much stronger than him. The two sides were engaged in a chaotic battle. The more they fought, the more intense it became. However, there was a large formation within the meteorite path. The force outside had no effect on them at all. Kid, this is just a small fight. It's not that strong. Don't be too surprised. I've seen experts who can shatter a star with a single slap. Only then can they be considered experts. However, The real peerless experts have earth-shattering power. In the sea of consciousness, the voice of the measure formula sounded. Obviously, it was full of disdain for the masters who were fighting outside. Lu Ming's mouth twitched. He was speechless. The measure formula was talking about the peerless experts in the primitive universe. However, that was too far away from him. Lu Ming's current goal was to fight the masters outside. He was looking forward to the day when he could reach such a level. Then he could travel the universe with his physical body. Bang! The battle became more and more intense. An expert from the Ice Soul race was hit, and his body flew 1,000,000 miles away. He vomited blood while an expert from the Flame race took the opportunity to attack. Ice World! The expert from the Ice Soul race roared. His divine power burned fiercely. A terrifying cold wave burst out from his body. The starry sky within a radius of 1,000,000 miles was frozen, forming a huge ice block. The expert from the Flame race was also frozen. He was shocked and frantically burned his divine power to break the ice. However, his aura was also weakened. He was obviously injured. Puff. On the other side, an expert from the Flame race had his arm cut off by the Ice Soul race's expert. Blood splattered across the starry sky. The bloody battle continued. This is the ancestral land of the Ice Soul race. You Flame race can't be so arrogant. The expert from the Ice Soul race roared. Are you really going to start a war with us for this, kid? The expert from the Flame race roared. Why should we be afraid of a war? The expert from the Ice Soul race replied. Although the Flame race was slightly stronger than the Ice Soul race, it was still unknown who would win if they went all out. You, the expert from the Flame race, was also helpless. They said that they would start a war with the Ice Soul race, but it was just empty talk. They wouldn't really start a war. If they started a war, both sides would suffer. The situation in the Qin Tian starfield was extremely complicated. Although the Flame race was strong and was known as the strongest race in the Qin Tian starfield, the Qin Tian 13 sects occupied nearly half of the Qin Tian starfield's territory. Their strength was even more terrifying. Although there wasn't a single sect that could compare to the Flame tribe in terms of strength. However, if a few sects joined forces, or even 2 overlord sects joined forces, they would be able to match the Flame race. If the Flame race and the Ice Soul race fought and both sides suffered, the Qin Tian 13 sects would definitely act to destroy them and take over their territory. Suddenly, the expression of the Flame race changed as they looked into the distance. There were streaks of rainbow light flying towards them at an extremely fast speed. Not good. More experts from the Ice Soul race are coming. The Flame race's expression changed. Retreat. Let's retreat for today. That kid from the Kongxian school. Don't let anyone from the Flame race see him. Kill him if you see him. An elder from the Flame race roared and started to retreat. The experts from the Flame race led the remaining prodigies from the invincible Kenzo, and turned into streaks of rainbow light, and flew into the distance. The experts from the Ice Soul race didn't chase after them. The people from the Flame race were very strong. There were Divine King experts among them. If they insisted on chasing after them, they would suffer great losses. Whoosh! Whoosh! In the distance, streaks of rainbow light flew over and revealed their figures. They were all experts from the Ice Soul race. Those bastards from the Flame race are pretty fast. A burly man from the Ice Soul race curled his lips. Ninth young lord, come out. At this moment, someone looked at Bingqing, Lu Ming, and the others. Bingqing and the others nodded and flew out of the meteorite path. The experts from the Ice Soul race immediately enveloped them with their divine power. Ninth young lord, did you really get the Ice Jade Heart? Someone asked. Many experts from the Ice Soul race looked at Bingqing with fiery eyes. That's right. It's absolutely true. Elders, please take a look. Bingqing nodded and took out the jade box. When she opened it, the icy jade chilling heart was revealed. A terrifying chill spread out from it. The Ice Jade Heart. It's really the Ice Jade Heart. It's exactly the same as what was recorded in our race's records. The heavens have blessed us. An elder from the Ice Soul race with a face full of wrinkles looked up and sighed. Chapter 2754. The other experts of the Ice Soul clan were also overjoyed. Some of them even had tears in their eyes. The Ice Soul heart was the most precious treasure of the Ice Soul clan. It was of great significance to the Ice Soul clan. With the Ice Soul heart, the Ice Soul clan would be able to produce more geniuses. The Ice Soul clan had a chance to surpass the Flaming clan and become the strongest overlord in the Qin Tian galaxy. Bing Qing closed the jade box and put it away. Let's go back to the Ice Soul planet. The clan leader and the supreme elders will be very happy if they know about this. An expert of the Ice Soul clan said. Everyone immediately set off for the Ice Soul planet. After a while, they arrived at the Ice Soul planet. When they returned to the Ice Soul planet, the entire planet was in a celebratory mood. The reason for that was because before they returned, the news regarding the Ice Jade Chilling Heart had already reached them. That night, the Ice Soul clan held a large banquet to celebrate the Ice Soul Heart's return from the ancestral land. Lu Ming and the others were invited to the banquet. The clan leader of the Ice Soul clan attended the banquet in person. A large hall was filled with people. The clan leader of the Ice Soul clan was sitting at the head of the table. Beside him were some other experts of the Ice Soul clan. Lu Ming and the others were sitting at the head of the table. He saw Bing Qing in the crowd. Father, it's all thanks to brother Lu Ming from the Kongxian school that we were able to get the Ice Soul heart. If it weren't for brother Lu, we wouldn't have been able to get it back. Bing Qing said loudly not long after the banquet started. Yes, I roughly know what happened this time. I never imagined that the Kongxian sect would produce such a genius. This is truly worthy of celebration. The clan leader said with a smile. He looked at Lu Ming and said, Lu Ming, you've helped us get the Ice Soul heart back. You've done us a great favor. If you need anything, just tell us. We'll try our best to satisfy you. Clan leader, can you give me some cold moon stones? Lu Ming cupped his fists and said. Although he already had 6 cold moon stones, the more cold moon stones he had, the better it would be for him to cultivate the frost shackles. Cold moon stone? How many pieces do you need? Asked the matriarch of the Ice Soul clan. Give me 8 or 10 yuan and that'll do. Lu Ming chuckled. What? 8 or 10 yuan? The patriarch of the Ice Soul clan and the other experts of the Ice Soul clan looked at each other and smiled helplessly. Lu Ming, to tell you the truth, there aren't many cold moon stones left in the Ice Soul clan. Even if we search the entire clan, I'm afraid we won't be able to find more than 10. The chief of the Ice Soul clan smiled bitterly. So little? Lu Ming was very surprised. Even the entire Ice Soul clan couldn't afford 8 or 10 of them. Now that he had gotten 6 of them, he had made a fortune. How about this? As the patriarch, I'll give you 2 cold moon stones from the Ice Soul clan's treasury. The patriarch of the Ice Soul clan said. Then he waved his hand and ordered someone to bring the cold moon stones. Thank you, patriarch. Lu Ming thanked the patriarch of the Ice Soul clan. Cold moon stones were very rare. It was good enough that he could get 2 more. Including the 6 from before, he had a total of 8 cold moon stones. The remaining 8 chains of the frost shackles were exactly 1 cold moon stone each. Soon, the patriarch of the Ice Soul clan returned with the cold moon stones. When the patriarch of the Ice Soul clan took out the cold moon stones, 2 moon-like stones appeared. They were exactly the same as the ones Lu Ming had obtained. Lu Ming, these 2 cold moon stones are for you. The patriarch of the Ice Soul clan waved his hand, and the 2 cold moon stones flew to Lu Ming. Lu Ming quickly took them and put them away. Also, take this golden jade token. Then the patriarch of the Ice Soul clan took out a golden jade token and waved his hand. The golden jade token flew to Lu Ming. Lu Ming took the golden jade token. It was cold to the touch, and a chill spread out. This golden jade medallion represents the highest status of the Icy Soul clan's guest elder. In the future, you can use this golden jade medallion to seek help from the Icy Soul clan wherever you go. The patriarch of the Ice Soul clan said. Thank you, patriarch. Lu Ming put the golden jade token away happily. This golden jade token could be used to seek help from the Ice Soul clan. Its value was very high. It could be very useful at critical times. Many people looked at him with envy. The banquet ended and everyone dispersed. Lu Ming and the others stayed on the Ice Soul planet for 3 more days. After 3 days, they bade farewell and returned to the Kongxian school. They took the teleportation formation and headed to the Kongxian school. After a while, they returned to the Kongxian school. After returning to the Kongxian school, they rushed to the mission hall to submit the mission and exchange for the reward. Lu Ming, thank you for saving us this time. On the way, the long-faced young man suddenly stopped and solemnly cupped his fists to Lu Ming to express his gratitude. As the team leader this time, it's my responsibility to keep you alive. You don't have to thank me. Lu Ming said lightly. No, if it weren't for you this time, I would have been dead, let alone completing the mission and exchanging the points. You saved my life, and I, Lu Chang, am a person who knows how to repay kindness. From now on, if you have any orders, no matter if it's water or fire, I won't refuse. Lu Chang bowed again and cupped his fists. This time he was truly convinced by Lu Ming. When he first met Lu Ming and learned that Lu Ming was their team leader, he was very unconvinced and wanted to challenge Lu Ming to make Lu Ming scram. However, along the way, the talent and combat ability that Lu Ming had displayed were simply miracles. He was deeply impressed by Lu Ming. He planned to follow Lu Ming in the future. Lu Chang, now you know how strong my boss is. If you follow my boss, you'll have benefits in the future. And Hai grinned. I, Xiaofeng, am willing to follow boss Lu Ming in the future. I won't refuse even if I have to climb a mountain of swords or dive into a pot of boiling oil. The other young man was even more direct, directly calling Lu Ming boss. You want to follow me? Lu Ming's heart moved as he asked. Yes. Lu Chang, Xiaofeng, and Anhai hurriedly nodded. You haven't joined any of the other Sacred Sun factions before? Lu Ming asked. No, I don't belong to any faction. Me neither. Anhai and Xiaofeng both shook their heads. I used to be part of the Floating Light faction, but I'm willing to leave the Floating Light faction and follow you, boss. Lu Chang said. After this incident, Lu Chang had a feeling that Lu Ming's talent was far above the other Sacred Sons, and that he might be able to defeat all the other Sacred Sons and Sacred Daughters in the future and dominate the Kongxian school. He obviously wanted to join such a prodigy as soon as possible. Okay, then you can follow me. However, you have to swear on your life origin that you'll sincerely join me. Otherwise, I won't accept you. Lu Ming said. He did indeed need some helpers in the Kongxian school. This way, it would be more convenient for him to do some things. For example, gathering information. Chapter 2755. Okay, I swear. And Hai, Lu Chang, and Xiaofeng all swore on their life origins. Lu Chang, you don't need to leave the Floating Light faction for now. Help me gather information. If there's any news from the Floating Light faction, you can inform me, Lu Ming said. Yes. Lu Chang nodded. Let's go and exchange for our rewards, Lu Ming said. Not long after, they came to the mission hall and submitted their missions. Each of them received 20,000 points. After that, Lu Ming gave them some instructions and left. After the crowd dispersed, Lu Ming immediately went to the Divine Vein Tower as he had something to do. Ever since he broke through to the True God realm, he felt that the portrait of Jingyu in his sea of consciousness had changed. He didn't have time to observe it before. After entering the Divine Vein Tower, Lu Ming sat down cross-legged. With a thought, Jingyu's portrait flew out from his forehead and floated in the air. Next, Lu Ming circulated his divine power and poured it into Jingyu's portrait. When Lu Ming poured his divine power into Jingyu's portrait, it started to shine. Then Jingyu's portrait seemed to come alive. It took a step out of the portrait and floated in the air. Senior Jingyu. Lu Ming was extremely surprised. Jingyu died long ago. I'm just a remnant imprint. I'll tell you some things, but I'm also going to vanish. The Jingyu imprint sighed. Senior, what do you want me to do? Lu Ming asked. He had sworn on his life origin in front of White Fang that he would help Jingyu complete his task. However, he didn't know what it was. Your cultivation was too weak before. Now that you've reached the True God realm, I'll tell you everything. Jingyu imprint said. At this point, a complicated look appeared in his eyes, as if he was reminiscing. After a while he began to speak in detail. Do you know about the Taishu dynasty? Jingyu's remnant imprint asked first. I don't know. Lu Ming shook his head. Oh, then where are you now? What star zone is it called? Jingyu imprint asked. This place is called the Qintian Starfield, Lu Ming answered. So it's in the Qintian Starfield, and you just came out of the small world not long ago. No wonder you haven't heard of it. Jingyu imprint whispered and continued. The chaotic universe is vast and boundless. Small worlds are undoubtedly the smallest. Many experts from small worlds will appear on some life planets when they come to the chaotic universe. When countless planets with life gather together, they form a galaxy. When the many galaxies gather together, they form a star field. The distance between different star fields is very far. Dominating a certain star field is a star field level force. However, above the star field level forces, there are still the universe level forces. The universe level forces usually occupy many star fields and dominate an area. They are extremely powerful and prosperous. The Jingyu imprint explained, and Lu Ming was secretly shocked. Cosmic realm level forces ruled over a cosmic realm. Above the star field level forces, there was actually a universe level force. One force could occupy so many star fields. How strong was that force? The Taishu dynasty is a universe level force. It occupies many star fields. If I remember correctly, one of the most remote star fields is the Qintian star field. Jingyu imprint said. The Qintian star field is a star field under the Taishu dynasty? And it's just a very remote star field? Lu Ming was even more surprised. Now you should have a rough idea of the Taishu sacred court strength. Now let's talk about me. I was originally a prince of the Taishu sacred court. I was ranked 18th. I was the 18th prince. Jingyu imprint immediately explained in detail. Jingyu, the 18th prince of the Taishu dynasty, was extremely talented and had unparalleled talent. Even in the history of the Taishu dynasty he was rare. At a young age he became a top expert of the Taishu dynasty. Such talent naturally attracted the jealousy of others. That was the other princes, and even the crown prince. Because at that time, there were many voices in the Taishu dynasty, calling for Jingyu to take over the Taishu dynasty in the future. In that way, he would be able to bring the Taishu dynasty to greater prosperity. However, one day, a shocking news came out. The 18th prince, Jingyu, had defiled the current imperial concubine. The imperial concubine was the most beloved concubine of the Taishu Saint Emperor. When the news came out, the world was in an uproar. Later, Jingyu was imprisoned for committing a heinous crime. He was even abolished of his cultivation and sentenced to death. Just like that, a genius prince of the Taishu dynasty fell. As for his family, they were either killed or imprisoned. From then on, they became history. Lu Ming finally knew that Huangquan Mountain, Baiya, and the others in the primordial realm of the Heaven Realm were the people who followed Jingyu back then. Back then I was framed. Someone joined forces with the imperial concubine to frame me. Speaking of this, Jingyu imprint's eyes were filled with strong unwillingness and resentment. Who was it that framed you? Lu Ming asked. I don't know. Maybe it was the crown prince or other princes. Jingyu shook his head and said, What I want you to do is to go to the Taishu dynasty and find out who framed me. Avenge me and clear my name. But my strength? Lu Ming smiled bitterly. The Taishu dynasty was a universe-level force. Any expert from the Taishu dynasty could probably kill him with a breath. How could he avenge Jingyu? Your strength is indeed very weak. With your current cultivation, you can't do anything in the Taishu dynasty. Therefore, there is no time limit for this. It won't be too late to go when you have the strength in the future, Jingyu imprint said. Jingyu noted it down. Well, do you have any divine skills or secret techniques? Can you give me some to enhance my strength? Lu Ming rolled his eyes and began to ask for benefits. In the future, when he went to the Taishu dynasty, it would be dangerous and risky. How could he not take some benefits now? Unexpectedly, Jingyu imprint shook his head and said, I've already given you what I should. The Qiankuan myriad Dao art and the origin ancient word, battle, are the foundation that will allow you to rise. The other divine skills and secret arts are secondary. Giving you too many won't do you any good. That's all? Lu Ming was depressed. To be honest, it's very difficult to complete my task, so you will need to experience a lot of training along the way. Only then can you help me fulfill my wish. In this world, there are gains and losses. You have obtained the universe myriad Tao scripture, and the battle ancient origin character, so you naturally have to pay a price. Well, my imprint will disappear soon. I hope you can complete it. Also, don't forget to save White Fang and the others in the future. At this point, the Jing feather imprint shook for a while, and then burst like a bubble, disappearing without a trace. Chapter 2756. Jing Yu's imprint disappeared, and so did the portrait of Jing Yu. It turned into a blank piece of paper. Swoosh. Initially, Lu Ming thought that since there was only a piece of white paper left, it would not be of much use. Unexpectedly, this piece of white paper turned into a beam of light, and flew back into Lu Ming's sea of consciousness, floating above it. Could it be that this portrait is still useful? Lu Ming thought and continued to inject divine power into it, but there was no response. Lu Ming could only give up. With my current cultivation, it's impossible to avenge Jing Yu. I'd better cultivate and improve my cultivation as soon as possible. Lu Ming shook his head, and put the matter of Jing Yu to the back of his mind. He began to cultivate and injected divine power into the measure formula. Now that his cultivation had improved greatly, he naturally needed to inject more divine power. Although the divine power that he had injected in the Void God realm was not used up, it was not enough for him now. After a while, Lu Ming felt that he had stored enough divine power, and left the Divine Vein Tower. It's time to settle the matter of the chaotic galaxy. A murderous intent flashed in Lu Ming's eyes. It's time to get rid of the Serene Hall and the Walkabout sect. It's time to take back the primordial realm. However, before returning to the chaotic galaxy, Lu Ming planned to exchange for a starry sky battleship. He now had tens of thousands of points, which was enough to exchange for a better starry sky battleship. Immediately, Lu Ming went to the inner sect area, where he could exchange for treasures. There was a dazzling array of treasures. Divine weapons, divine pills, various materials, starry sky battleships, etc., could all be exchanged with points. Starry sky battleships were very expensive. The starry sky battleships of the righteous army were of the lowest level, so they were not particularly expensive. The better starry sky battleships were very expensive. Lu Ming walked around and found that there were all kinds of starry sky battleships. Some could be exchanged for as little as 100 points. Don't underestimate 100 points. If converted into divine gems, it would be 1 million divine gems. The starry sky battleships of the righteous army were of this level. Lu Ming naturally didn't care about starry sky battleships of this level. 100 points, 500 points, 1,000 points, 5,000 points. The highest starry sky battleship required 1 million points to exchange for, causing Lu Ming to stare blankly at it. In the end, Lu Ming redeemed a starry sky battleship worth 5,000 points. Its grade was much higher than a 100-point battleship. In addition, Lu Ming also redeemed 2 starry sky battleships worth 500 points each. He planned to bring them back for Ancestral Graygon and the others. In addition, Lu Ming also exchanged for some divine pills. These divine pills were extremely useful for those below the empty god realm, as they could increase their cultivation level quickly. These pills were prepared for his parents, Autumn Moon and his disciples. In the end, Lu Ming spent a total of 10,000 points. After everything was ready, Lu Ming stepped on the transmission array and headed towards the chaotic astral river. After spending more than a month, Lu Ming returned to Yunfeng City in Yunfeng Pavilion. You want to go to the Zhengtian army? Beside the teleportation array, an old man in charge of managing the teleportation array looked at Lu Ming in surprise. Yes, I want to go to the Zhengtian army. Is there a problem? Lu Ming asked. I'm afraid you can't go to the Zhengtian army now. The old man said. Can't go? Why? Lu Ming asked again. He had a bad feeling in his heart. The Zhengtian army is fighting a war. The entire teleportation route of the Zhengtian army has been blocked, so you can't teleport in. The old man said. What? Fighting a war? Senior, what's going on? Lu Ming was shocked. It's said that Yuluo Hall, Walkabout Sect, and a few other forces have joined forces to besiege the Zhengtian army. The Zhengtian army has been forced to retreat, and many planets with life have been occupied. Now, only the Zhengtian planet is still struggling to hold on. As for what's going on, I don't know. The old man said. Yuluo Hall, Walkabout Sect. Lu Ming emitted a cold killing intent, and a terrifying aura spread out. True. True God. Feeling Lu Ming's aura, the old man shuddered and showed a shocked expression. He didn't expect that Lu Ming, who was so young, was a true god. Senior, I want to go to the planet closest to the Zhengtian army. Lu Ming said. Okay. The force closest to the Zhengtian army is the Wanghai family. I'll send you to one of their planets immediately. The old man nodded repeatedly. Reaching the true god realm at such a young age meant that he was most likely a genius of some large force. He didn't dare to be negligent. Lu Ming stepped onto the teleportation array and arrived at one of the Wanghai family's planets. Then he took out his interstellar battleship. The interstellar battleship turned into a beam of light and rushed toward the Zhengtian planet at an astonishing speed. What's that? What an amazing speed. That's an interstellar battleship. My God, what level of interstellar battleship is it? Some people widened their eyes in shock when they saw Lu Ming's interstellar battleship. In the blink of an eye, Lu Ming's interstellar battleship was far away. The battle situation on the Zhengtian planet was even more intense than Lu Ming had imagined. The majority of the Zhengtian planet's territory had already been breached, and only the Zhengtian army's headquarters remained. Almost everyone else had retreated to the Zhengtian army's headquarters, such as Ancestral Gragon and the others. At this moment, countless armies had surrounded the Zhengtian army's headquarters so tightly that not even a drop of water could pass through. The Zhengtian army's headquarters had activated the mountain guarding formation to block the attacks from outside. Attack! Break the Zhengtian army's formation. Up in the air, the Walkabout Sect Master, Situ Haonan, was giving orders. Beside him was the secluded Hall Master, Kong Ji, and several other faction masters. Boom. 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 The experts of several factions joined hands and unleashed all sorts of attacks at the Zhengtian army. The Zhengtian army's formation constantly shook, as if it would break apart at any moment. This time, the Zhengtian army will definitely be destroyed. Kong Ji's eyes shone with excitement. The technique ancestor had always been a thorn in his side, opposing him for so many years. This time, he would definitely eliminate the technique ancestor. His gaze involuntarily turned in a certain direction. There was a luxurious armchair floating in the air. A youth in embroidered robes sat in the armchair. Several other youths stood beside the armchair. Among them were Situ Haonan's two sons, Situ Feng and Situ Shao. His son, Kong Long, was also beside them. They all stood respectfully beside the youth in embroidered robes. Kong Ji's eyes shone with respect as he looked at the youth in embroidered robes. This was because the youth in embroidered robes was an inner disciple of the Mystic Academy, one of the 3 overlords of the Qin Tian star field. Moreover, he was a genius. Such a person's status was far from what he could compare to. This time, Situ Feng and the others had returned to the chaotic astral river with the youth in embroidered robes. The other factions immediately joined forces with the Walkabout sect and secluded Hall to attack the Zhengtian army. Chapter 2757. Being an inner disciple of the Mystic Academy was no small matter. Situ Feng was also lucky to have entered the Mystic Academy and joined a faction. That was how he got to know the inner disciples of the Mystic Academy. His own cultivation was still far from reaching the true God realm. So what if Lu Ming was talented? So what if he got first place in the Qin Tian 13 sex assessment? He had foolishly joined the Kongxian sect. How could his status compare to that of an inner disciple of the Hybrid Demon Academy? Therefore, as soon as the inner disciples of the Mystic Academy arrived, several factions that had originally planned to remain neutral immediately joined forces with them to attack the Just Sky army. The alliance of several factions, didn't even need the inner disciples of the Mystic Academy to make a move. They broke into the core of the Just Sky army like a hot knife through butter. Boom. Boom. One attack after another turned into beams of divine light and blasted toward the Just Sky army's protective array. The array trembled and cracks began to appear on it. What should we do? Inside the protective array, the members of the Just Sky army had ugly looks on their faces. At most, we'll fight them to the death. That's right. Killing one is enough. Killing two is worth it. Many people roared and showed expressions that they were ready to die together. In the middle, the ancestor of techniques was silent and didn't speak. In the crowd, Ancestral Gragon, the Titan Longhorn Beetle, the 9 Lives Demonic Cicada, and the others all had solemn expressions. I didn't expect that we would still die in the hands of the Serene Palace after escaping from the Heaven Realm. Is this fate? Some people sighed and were unwilling to accept it. They had finally defeated the evil god tribe and escaped from the lesser thousand worlds to the primitive universe. But in the end, they still couldn't escape the clutches of the Serene Palace. I hope that Lu Ming can avenge us in the future. Some people sighed. It's hard to say. Among them are the inner disciples of the Mystic Academy, one of the 3 overlords of the Qintian star field. They are too strong. This is not a spirit space in the primordial realm of the Heaven Realm. This is a huge force of the untainted universe. How can Lu Ming defeat them? That's right. I think the people from the Mystic Academy will deal with Lu Ming later. I'm afraid that Lu Ming can't even protect himself. After all, this isn't a pocket dimension. Some experts from the Heaven Realm were discussing helplessly. In the primordial realm of the Heaven Realm, they were considered experts. But in the primitive universe, they were nothing. They could only be considered at the bottom. Although Lu Ming was an unprecedented genius in the primordial realm of the Heaven Realm, it was only a minor kiliacosm after all. Compared to the greater kiliacosm, it was probably nothing. Gotcha. Crack. At this moment, cracking sounds could be heard from the Grand Formation as more and more cracks appeared on it. Finally, with a loud bang, it exploded. The protective mountain array was broken. Prepare to fight. Someone shouted. Don't act rashly. Everyone, get into formation and defend. The ancestor of technique shouted and stopped everyone. Remember, the person they want to kill is me. If I die in battle, you will surrender. Do you understand? The ancestor of technique glanced at the people of the righteous army. No, we would rather die than surrender. That's right. We will never surrender. The people of the righteous army shouted. You, the ancestor of technique, was helpless. Surrender? Hee, that's fine too. We will only kill a few of you. Most of you can surrender as long as you behave in the future. Situ Haonan, the sect master of the Walkabout sect, sneered. He took the lead and stepped forward. Beside him, Kong Ji and the others followed. Don't move. This is my order. The ancestor of technique ordered as his gaze became sharp. Many people's expressions changed as they gritted their teeth and lowered their heads. Kong Ji, Situ Haonan, I'll fight with you. Let's see which one of you can do anything to me. Then the ancestor of technique stepped into the air alone. A battle sword appeared in his hand, and his battle intent surged. The ancestor of technique faced the army of the Walkabout sect, Secluded Hall, and the others alone. Fa Ming, do you think you can fight with so many of us with just a mid-grade 7th grade battle sword? Situ Haonan sneered. Who will fight with me? The ancestor of technique roared as his battle intent swept towards Situ Haonan and the others. Situ Haonan and the others turned their gazes, but no one made a move. They knew how powerful the ancestor of technique was, especially Situ Haonan, Kong Ji, and Mo Kansas. They had all fought with the ancestor of technique before, so they naturally wouldn't make the first move. What are you being arrogant for? I'll fight with you. Beside Kong Ji, there was a burly man in blood-red armor. He carried a blood-red battle saber and stepped out. His body exuded a powerful aura. This burly man was from another faction, the Grand Elder of the Blood-Red Gang. He was a 4th-level true god, and his battle strength wasn't below Situ Haonan and the others. He had never fought with the ancestor of technique before, so he naturally wasn't afraid of him. Seeing this person make a move, Situhaonan and the others didn't stop him. They could use this person to find out more about the ancestor of technique. Make your move. I'll give you a chance to make your move. The ancestor of technique looked indifferently at the Grand Elder of the Blood Red Gang. Arrogant. You're courting death. The Grand Elder of the Blood Red Gang roared as a violent divine power burst out. The battle sword in his hand whistled as it slashed towards the ancestor of technique. Swoosh. The ancestor of technique also slashed out with his sword. Clang. The sword and saber collided, and a loud explosion erupted. Then a figure retreated. It was the Grand Elder of the Blood Red Gang. He couldn't defeat the ancestor of technique in the first move, and was forced to retreat. Kill. The ancestor of technique roared as his body turned into a beam of light, and charged towards the Grand Elder of the Blood Red Gang. Sword light pierced through the air, one after another. Peak of the 3rd grade of the divine skill, you? The Grand Elder of the Blood Red Gang was shocked. The ancestor of technique's divine skill was already at the peak of the 3rd grade. With the addition of a level 7 middle grade divine weapon, even if the ancestor of technique was only a level 3 true god, his combat strength was far above his. He retreated, wanting to escape. However, the ancestor of technique wouldn't let him escape. After slashing out dozens of times, the Grand Elder was killed on the spot. So powerful. Many people were shocked. Damn it. The leader of the Blood Red Gang roared furiously. His heart ached so much that he wanted to die. There were only 3 level 4 true gods in the Blood Red Gang. Now that one of them had died, he couldn't wait to tear the ancestor of technique into pieces. Who else wants to fight? The ancestor of technique's aura was wild as he looked around. How dare you kill the Grand Elder of the Blood Red Gang? You're courting death. The leader of the Blood Red Gang roared as he charged out like a mad lion. A terrifying aura emanated from his body. Level 5 true god. This was the cultivation of the leader of the Blood Red Gang. His cultivation was stronger than Situhaonan, Kongji, and the others. The Blood Red Gang's power was originally above the Yuluo Hall, Walkabout Sect, and the Just Sky Army. This time, he wanted to curry favor with the inner disciples of the Mystic Academy, which was why he attacked the Just Sky Army. Level 5 true god? Come on. The ancestor of technique's eyes were filled with a strong battle intent. Kill. The leader of the Blood Red Gang roared as he slashed out with his war blade. In an instant, dozens of blade lights were slashed towards the ancestor of technique's vital points. Chapter 2758. Facing the Blood Red Club's leader's attack, the ancestor of techniques was not afraid at all. He held his sword and charged forward. The sword whistled and the sword light shot into the sky, slashing towards the Blood Red Club's leader. Clang! Clang! In the blink of an eye, dozens of explosions erupted between the two of them. Then a figure frantically retreated. It was the ancestor of techniques. Facing the leader of the Blood Red Club, who was a level 5 true god, the ancestor of techniques was suppressed. Humph, no matter how strong he is, he's going to die this time. The secluded hall master said coldly. Of course. The outcome this time has already been decided. It can't be changed. Situhaonan said confidently. Kill. The Blood Red Club's leader had gained the upper hand with this attack. Naturally, he would not miss this opportunity and started to attack the ancestor of techniques furiously. A 5th stage true god is only SOSO. The ancestor of techniques' long hair fluttered in the wind. His aura was wild, and his battle intent reached its peak. His divine power exploded, and instead of retreating, he charged at the Blood Red President. Clang. The two of them clashed once again. However, this time, the aura of the ancestor of techniques rose sharply. His battle sword shone with a dazzling light. He actually managed to suppress the Blood Red Guild Master. Whoosh. The Blood Red Guild leader's body trembled violently as he was sent flying like a cannonball. 4th stage of True God. The Blood Red Guild leader roared. What? 4th stage of the True God realm. Fei broke through to the 4th stage of the True God realm. How can his breakthrough speed be so fast? Damn it! Kongji, Situhaonan, and the others roared in shock. The strength of the ancestor of techniques was incomparably strong. If he was a level 3 true god, he naturally wouldn't be a match for the blood-red president. However, it was different now that he had broken through to the level 4 true god realm. Whoosh! The ancestor of techniques became one with his sword. He turned into a dazzling sword light and charged towards the blood-red guild master. The blood-red guild leader hollered in rage. He used all of his strength to fight against the ancestor of techniques. But in just a few moves he was completely suppressed. He was no match for the ancestor of techniques. He retreated and blood seeped out from the corner of his mouth. "Come and help me! Come and help me!" The blood-red guild leader roared. He was really afraid. If this continued, he might be killed by the ancestor of techniques. "Let's attack together. Now is the time for war. When two armies fight, there's no need to follow the rules. Let's attack together and kill him." "That's right, let's attack together." Kang Ji and Situ Haonan roared. They were completely shameless. After those words were spoken, silhouettes after silhouettes stepped out and headed towards the ancestor of technique. Kang Ji Emok and Situ Haonan. There were a total of 9 experts and all of them were at the 4th stage of the True God realm. Including the Blood-Red Guild Master, there were a total of 10 people. Boom, boom, boom. The 10 powerhouses joined hands and unleashed a terrifying attack towards the ancestor of techniques. Facing the combined attacks of so many elites, the ancestor of technique did not dare to be careless. He fought back with all his might, and the two sides engaged in an intense battle. The two sides engaged in a fierce battle. However, it was difficult for two fists to fight against 4 hands. The ancestor of technique was alone after all. Against the attacks of the 10 powerhouses, he slowly fell into a disadvantage. Despicable, a bunch of despicable and shameless people. So many people are besieging the general. The righteous army's members all roared furiously. Unfortunately, none of them could interfere in such a huge battle. After all, the righteous sky army had only been established for a short period of time, and they didn't have a 4th stage true god. In the past, they had completely relied on the ancestor of techniques alone. Therefore, they could only watch from the sidelines. If they went up, they would only get in the way and distract the ancestor of techniques. Bang! The ancestor of technique was careless and was struck by a palm strike. His body was knocked back and he spat out a mouthful of blood. "Fa Ming die. Die for me." Kang Ji roared ferociously and took the opportunity to attack the ancestor of technique. He wanted to kill the ancestor of technique. "Kang Ji, you want to kill me? I'm afraid you're still far from it." Sword body technique. The ancestor of technique roared. Boundless sword chi suddenly burst out from his body. His entire body seemed to have turned into a peerless divine sword. A ray of sword chi shot out from the ancestor of technique's battle sword and slashed towards Kang Ji. The terrifying power caused Kang Ji's face to change color. Kang Ji tried his best to block it, but when the ray of sword chi slashed through, Kang Ji's defense instantly shattered. He screamed out in pain and was sent flying. A half-meter-long sword wound appeared on his body, almost splitting him into 2 halves. Secret technique. You actually cultivated a secret technique. Kang Ji roared out in shock. The others were also shocked. There were still some ordinary secret techniques in the chaotic astral river. However, there were very few secret techniques that could increase one's battle strength in the chaotic astral river. The ancestor of technique obviously cultivated a secret technique that could increase one's battle strength. Interesting, this secret technique, I want it. The eyes of the hybrid Demon Academy inner sect disciple, who had been sitting listlessly on the armchair, lit up slightly at this moment, revealing a trace of greed. "Kill!" The ancestor of technique roared. The sword chi on his body became brighter and brighter as he charged towards Kang Ji and the others. He had indeed cultivated a secret technique, the sword body technique. Once he unleashed it, the power of his sword could increase by 50%. At the crucial moment, the power of his sword could increase by 50%. This was already extremely shocking. "Let's attack together, let's attack together." Kang Ji was shocked. He did not dare to fight back. He retreated while shouting. The others all charged towards the ancestor of technique. Die. The ancestor of technique's eyes were filled with shocking killing intent. He slashed out more than 10 rays of sword qi and forced the experts who were surrounding him to retreat. Then he stared at one of them and attacked fiercely. That person was shocked and frantically tried to block. However, he was only a level 4 true god. How could he block the ancestor of technique's attacks? After a few moves, he was severely injured. Die. The ancestor of technique slashed down and split that person into 2 halves. Another level 4 true god expert was killed. Kill. After killing that person, the ancestor of technique's aura became stronger, and he charged towards the others. Kongji, Situhaonan, Mo Ken and the others were shocked. They did not dare to fight back and frantically retreated. Great, the army leader is mighty. The people of the Zhengtian army were excited when they saw the ancestor of technique's power. Kongji, give me your life. The ancestor of technique stared at Kongji and charged towards him. Among these people, the one that the ancestor of technique wanted to kill the most was Kongji. It was Kongji who treated the primordial realm of the heaven realm as a farm, and used the geniuses of the primordial realm of the heaven realm to refine divine pills. Moreover, most of the demigods that came out of the heaven realm were controlled by Kongji. As long as Kongji was killed, the restrictions on those people would naturally be lifted. No. Kongji was shocked and frantically retreated. His face was filled with fear. You can't escape. The ancestor of technique was unstoppable. He quickly chased after Kongji. The distance between the two of them was getting closer and closer. Long save me, save me. Kongji shouted at Konglong father, senior brother, please save my father. Konglong anxiously looked at the youth in brocade clothes. Don't worry, your father won't die. The youth in brocade clothes said indifferently. After speaking, he stood up and took a step forward. His body was like a bolt of lightning as he charged towards the ancestor of technique. Boom. Before he arrived, the youth in brocade clothes had already struck out with his palm. A pitch-black palm print pressed towards the ancestor of technique. Its power was shocking. Chapter 2759. The youth in embroidered clothes attacked, sending out a pitch-black palm that made the ancestor of technique's heart palpitate. Ignoring Kongji, the ancestor of technique slashed out with all his might, sending out a bright sword light. Boom. With a shocking explosion, the ancestor of technique's sword light slashed onto the pitch-black palm. The sword light couldn't take it and collapsed, but the palm didn't stop and continued towards the ancestor of technique. The ancestor of technique used his battle sword to block, but he was sent flying 1,000 miles away. He spat out a mouthful of blood and his face turned pale. What terrifying power! Is this the power of an inner sect disciple of the Mystic Academy? The ancestor of technique thought to himself as helplessness appeared in his eyes. This youth in embroidered clothes was at the 6th level of the true god realm, and he was extremely powerful. He wasn't someone Kongji could compare to. Even if they were at the same level, the ancestor of technique wasn't confident he could beat him. General. The people of the righteous army were filled with despair. Powerful, powerful. An inner sect disciple of the Mystic Academy is indeed powerful. Haha Fei Mingdai. Kongji roared in his heart, his eyes ferocious. Your strength is not bad. It's not easy to have someone like you in the chaotic Star River. How about this? Hand over your secret technique and become my dog in the future. If you work for me, I'll spare your life. The youth in embroidered clothes had his hands behind his back as he looked down on the ancestor of technique. Ha ha ha. The ancestor of technique laughed loudly, then said, if you want to kill me, then kill me. If you want me to kneel and become your dog, keep dreaming. Also, if you want my secret technique, then keep dreaming. Since you refuse a toast only to drink a forfeit, I'll fulfill your wish. The youth in embroidered clothes' expression turned cold. Divine power circulated around his body, and cold killing intent spread out. At the same time, a pitch-black battle sword appeared in his hand. Whoosh! A terrifying sword light flashed and slashed towards the ancestor of technique. The ancestor of technique used all his power to block with his sword. Dang! The sword light dissipated, and the ancestor of technique grunted as he flew 1,000 miles away. He spat out a few mouthfuls of blood, and his body was covered in wounds. They were all small sword wounds. Against the youth in embroidered clothes, the ancestor of technique was no match. The difference in cultivation was too great. General. The righteous army turned pale with fright. Kong Ji and the others were naturally overjoyed. You want to fight against senior brother Luo? You really don't know your limits. On the side, Kong Long, Situ Xiao, and the others sneered. I'll ask you one more time. Will you hand over the secret technique or not? The young man in embroidered clothes asked again. If you want to kill me, then kill me. You want my secret technique? Dream on. The ancestor of technique sneered. You're courting death. Dark Devil Divine Blade. The young man in the expensive gown was furious. His godly energy exploded, and all the energy in his body converged into a terrifying blade that headed towards the ancestor of technique. This blade, the youth in embroidered clothes already used his full strength under his rage. The power was extremely shocking. An ordinary 5th level true god would be slain by this blade. The terrifying blade light pressed down on the ancestor of techniques. Facing this blade, the ancestor of techniques would definitely not be able to block it. He would die under this blade. General. The people of the righteous army screamed. So be it. The ancestor of techniques released a long roar, erupting with all of his strength. Even if he was going to die, he was going to die brilliantly, die in battle. He wasn't going to resign himself to death. Rumble. However, right at that moment, intense rumbling sounds came from the depths of the sky. Explosions were unceasingly sounding in the sky. Many people subconsciously raised their heads to look. That's a galactic battleship. What a beautiful galactic battleship. What kind of galactic battleship is that? It actually charged into the atmosphere. Many people had different thoughts in their minds. Normally, when a galactic battleship charged into the atmosphere, it would stop. But this galactic battleship didn't stop. It directly charged towards the righteous army's headquarters at an extremely fast speed. The young man in the expensive gown was also stunned because he realized that the galactic battleship was actually charging towards him. His heart skipped a beat and his blade changed direction. He didn't slash at the ancestor of techniques but at the galactic battleship. Boom! The blade light slashed onto the galactic battleship. The galactic battleship wasn't damaged at all. On the other hand, the young man in the expensive gown was pushed back and almost spat out a mouthful of blood. The galactic battleship also stopped in the sky. Many people looked at the galactic battleship, especially the people of the righteous army. Their eyes were filled with hope. It was obvious that the galactic battleship was charging towards the young man in the expensive gown. Could it be that they had reinforcements? Who is it? Get out here. The young man in the expensive gown narrowed his eyes and shouted angrily. Kacha. The door of the galactic battleship opened, and a figure walked out. Lu Ming, it's you. The first person to shout was none other than Kong Long. He had been thinking about taking revenge on Lu Ming every day. Naturally, he had a deep impression of Lu Ming and recognized him at a glance. Lu Ming, it's him. Lu Ming is back. How could it be him? Did he bring experts from the Kongxian school? The people of the righteous army were stunned. Then the hope in their eyes intensified. They hoped that Lu Ming had brought experts from the Kongxian school. If that was the case, they might be saved today. It's that brat, Kong Ji Situ Haonan, and the other's eyes emitted cold light. Lu Ming, the ancestor of techniques, was also shocked. Brat, so you're Lu Ming. The young man in the expensive gown looked at Lu Ming with cold eyes. He had heard of Lu Ming's name before. Firstly, Lu Ming was the champion of the Qin Tian 13 sex assessment. Also, he had heard about him from Kong Ji, Situ Xiao, and Situ Feng. I'm Lu Ming. It's the real deal. Lu Ming smiled faintly. He looked around and found that everyone was fine. He secretly heaved a sigh of relief. He had finally made it. Who else from the Kongxian school is here? Come out. Today the Mystic Academy is doing something. Let's see who dares to stop us. The young man in the expensive gown said coldly. He looked past Lu Ming, and at the door of the galactic battleship. He didn't put Lu Ming in his eyes. He was just a new disciple of the Kongxian school. He could crush him with one finger. Obviously, he didn't know about Lu Ming's performance in the Ice Soul race. Otherwise, he wouldn't be so arrogant. Don't worry. It's just me today. There's no one else. Lu Ming smiled faintly. He waved his hand and kept the galactic battleship. What? Just Lu Ming alone? Oh no. Hearing this, the faces of the righteous army members changed. They had some hope, but it turned into despair. What could Lu Ming do even if he came alone? He couldn't change the outcome. Oh no. Ancestral Gragon, Titan Longhorn, and the others were also worried. Ha ha ha, this brat came alone. He's courting death. Good. We can get rid of him today. We can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. We won't have to find a chance to kill him in the future. Even the heavens are helping us. Kong Ji, Kong Long, Situ Haonan, and the others laughed in their hearts. Originally, Lu Ming had joined the Kongxian school, and his talent was incomparably shocking. They were afraid of him. They were thinking of how to kill Lu Ming after destroying the righteous army. They didn't expect that Lu Ming would deliver himself to their doorstep. How could they not be happy? Chapter 2760. Idiot, idiot. Ha ha ha. Kong Ji, Kong Long, Situ Haonan, and the others laughed in their hearts as they looked at Lu Ming as if they were looking at an idiot. Lu Ming, leave now, the ancestor of technique shouted. Leave? Where do you think you're going? Since you're here, don't leave. Kong Ji sneered and surrounded Lu Ming with Situ Haonan and the others. They could tell that Lu Ming's interstellar battleship was very advanced. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been able to block the young man's attack. Hence, they blocked off Lu Ming's escape route to prevent him from escaping with his interstellar battleship. Did I say I'm going to escape? Lu Ming smiled faintly with a calm expression. The ancestor of technique, Ancestral Gragon, and the others were stunned. They knew Lu Ming well and knew that Lu Ming wasn't a reckless person. Could it be that he had something to rely on for him to be so calm? Kid, I'll send you on your way. Grand Elder Mo Kan of the secluded hall shouted and charged towards Lu Ming. The powerful attack of a level 4 True God Realm expert was like a tidal wave that crushed towards Lu Ming. Not good. The ancestor of technique, Ancestral Gragon, and the others' hearts raced and their faces changed drastically. Fortunately, Lu Ming's parents, Qiu Yu, and the rest were hidden in a secret place due to their low cultivation levels. They did not witness this scene. Otherwise, they would have been scared to death. Die. Mo Kan sneered. You're the one who's going to die. Lu Ming's cold voice resounded. Suddenly, a spear light shot out and pierced towards Mo Kan at extreme speed. Puff. All of Mo Kan's attacks and defenses were as fragile as tofu in front of Lu Ming. The spear light pierced through Mo Kan's glabella and created a hole. You. Mo Kan's eyes widened and he couldn't believe what had happened. Then his body fell to the ground with a swoosh and there was no sign of life left. So weak, Lu Ming muttered. Although they were both at the 4th stage True God Realm, Mo Kan's battle prowess was much weaker than in Hai, Lu Zhang, and the rest. With Lu Ming's current battle prowess, he could kill Mo Kan with a wave of his hand. How is this possible? Kong Ji, Situ Haonan, and the others' eyes were as round as saucers, as if they had seen a ghost. Lu Ming had actually killed Mo Kan in one move? Hiss, they sucked in a breath of cold air again and again. They felt chills all over their bodies and cold sweat flowed down their backs. They couldn't help but step back and put some distance between them and Lu Ming. They secretly rejoiced that they were not the ones who attacked just now. Otherwise, they would already be dead. Impossible, this is impossible. The people that were the most shocked were naturally Kong Ji, Situ Xiao, and Situ Feng. All of them had fought Lu Ming before, and they were deeply aware of Lu Ming's cultivation and combat strength. But earlier, Lu Ming actually killed Mo Kan casually. That was an existence of level 4 True God. Lu Ming could actually kill an existence of level 4 True God? How many years had it been? Their hearts trembled, and they were filled with jealousy. Gulp. The ancestor of techniques, Ancestral Dragon, Titan Heavenly Bull, and the rest of the righteous Sky Army could not help but swallow their saliva. They were tongue-tied and were completely speechless. Obviously, Lu Ming's move had shocked everyone. Didn't you want to kill me? Why are you retreating so quickly? Lu Ming's gaze swept across Kang Ji and the others as he spoke indifferently. Kang Ji and the others shuddered when Lu Ming's gaze swept across them. Kid, you do have some combat strength. However, you're not arrogant enough in front of me. At this moment, the youth in the brocade robe spoke. Divine power gushed out from his body, and he emitted a powerful aura that pressed down on Lu Ming. Whether it's enough or not, we'll know after a battle. However, once we start, you'd better be prepared to be killed. Lu Ming's gaze turned towards the youth in the brocade robe as he spoke coldly. Prepare to be killed by you? What a joke. A mere first-level true god wants to kill me? Die. The youth in the brocade robe's gaze was like a forest. He could not be bothered to talk nonsense with Lu Ming. A terrifying saber light slashed towards Lu Ming, wanting to cut Lu Ming in half. Buzz. The long spear in Lu Ming's hand vibrated as he swept it out. The spear light was as thick as a mountain, and it clashed with the youth's saber light. Boom. There was a loud explosion as the saber light shook violently, and then collapsed. The spear light did not stop and continued to sweep towards the youth in the brocade robe. How is this possible? The youth in the brocade roared in his heart. His eyes were filled with disbelief. Then he exploded with all his strength to block Lu Ming's attack. However, when the spear light crushed down, the youth in the brocade robe cried out in pain. His body flew out like a cannonball as he spat out mouthfuls of blood. This. Many people rubbed their eyes, thinking that they had seen wrongly. The youth in the brocade robe was an inner disciple of the Mystic Academy. The strength that he had just displayed was simply shocking. However, at this moment, he seemed to be unable to withstand a single blow from Lu Ming. Especially Kang Ji, Situ Haonan and the others. They were almost scared to death. On the other hand, the members of the righteous army were overjoyed. Evildoer, evildoer. The people from the heaven world mumbled to themselves. They were extremely shocked. Previously, some people thought that although Lu Ming was able to create miracles in the heaven world, and was the strongest sky pride in the history of the heaven world, it would be difficult for him to rise in the Eldritch universe. But now they realized that they were wrong. Monster. Wherever he went, he would be a monster. Lu Ming could create miracles in the heaven world, and he could do the same in the Eldritch universe. They knew that Lu Ming's current achievements had far exceeded their imagination. This speed of improvement is really... The ancestor of Dharma's heart was also in turmoil. Lu Ming had only joined the Kongxian school for a few decades. A few decades was nothing to an immortal being. However, Lu Ming's achievements were shocking. You want to kill me with this little bit of strength? Lu Ming's cold voice was heard again as he swept his spear at the youth in the brocade robe. Boom. This time, the youth in the brocade robe was even more miserable. His body was shattered, leaving only his head floating in the air. I'll send you to hell, Lu Ming said coldly. No, you can't kill me. I am an inner disciple of the Mystic Academy. If you kill me, you will die too, the youth in the brocade robe shouted. He was hoping that the Mystic Academy would intimidate Lu Ming. An inner disciple of the Mystic Academy? I'm sorry, I killed a bunch of them a while ago. Lu Ming curled his lips. Although the youth in the brocade robe was a level 6 true divine realm, which was one level higher than Lu Shangkai, his combat power was weaker than Lu Shangkai's. Of course, he was defeated by Lu Ming. Go to hell, sky piercing. Lu Ming cast the first move of the 3 strikes of annihilation. It broke through the air, and a bright spear gleam burst forth, flashing past. Bang! The head of the young man in the brocade robe exploded. His body and soul were completely destroyed. Run! Run! Kang Ji, Situ Haonan, Kang Long, Situ Xiao and the others were almost scared to death. Lu Ming was too audacious. He even dared to kill an inner disciple of the Mystic Academy. If they stayed, they would definitely die. Therefore, they didn't dare to stay and ran away. You're tuning in to the Li Mei's Wuxia Whispers YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.